What's up guys, this is Sammy Geek back here with an exclusive video. This is a very first hands-on exclusive of the Aiwa Orb speakers. These are brand new from Aiwa. In fact, they're so hot off the press. This is a set that I'm gonna be sending back to Aiwa. They were gracious enough to give me a little bit of a hands-on time to let you guys know what do I think of them, do a little bit of an unboxing, a little bit of sound test for you guys, and kind of get the general impression of this initial hands-on. So without further ado, I'm gonna switch camera angles for you guys and I'll unbox these. They do come in these wonderful boxes here. We'll take a look at the speakers, we'll give that general impression, and we'll move on to the sound test. So we'll catch you guys in a second. All right guys, without further ado, let's get these boxes open and take a look at these speakers. So first things first, when you open up the box, you are greeted with a beautiful looking, kind of a deep red metallic with, it's almost like a little bit of a blacked out chrome for lack of a better term on the top. And out of the box, guys, these are on a different level. This is me speaking freely, completely honest with you guys. The look and the feel of these things is completely different than anything you've seen before. So what I compare this to is which was up until now my daily driver were JBL speakers. And the JBL speakers are, you know, great for bringing to the beach, throwing on the beach. They're waterproof. They bring advantages like that to the table. They sound pretty good, but they have a very, I guess, utility look to them. So the best way I can describe these speakers right out of the box is this is like a finely crafted watch, yeah, as compared to maybe a sport watch, if you want to compare it to that. They really feel like a high quality watch as compared to a plastic watch or something similar to that. So I'm really wowed with these things right out. And it's almost that Aiwa seems to be carving their own category, because most Bluetooth speakers, most little portable Bluetooth speakers are plasticky, they're cheap, they're not something that you're going to display in a very nice office if you have a nice office setting at work or home office. And the game changer here is, of course, not only do I feel like they're setting their own category, but I also feel like they're setting the bar high for this category, because right out of the gate, they're coming with something that's going to be stereo sound. So we're gonna get into the sound later, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys right now. I turned these speakers on at a very low level just to kind of see, what they sounded like at a low level, but I wanted to hear the full sound of these live with you guys. So I'm actually gonna record here in a second of playing a demonstration or a couple songs. So we'll do that live together and I'll experience that and I'll give you guys my honest feedback of these speakers as far as sound quality goes. But build quality, it's really, I have a lot of Bluetooth speakers, you guys, and I've never seen a speaker with this type of quality. So on the bottom, we have a couple of dials here. We have let me actually turn it the right way so you guys can see. So at the top, we have a mode, and then we have a play button, and we have volume and then track forward and back. So fortunately, these came paired for me just because I believe these are speakers that they've been using for presentations and internal use. So I didn't really have to do any pairing. So again, I'm not gonna get into the super technical aspects. So in summary, the box presentation is fantastic. I'm really honestly wowed by the speaker. When I opened the boxes, I was greeted with a really great presentation, an expensive looking speaker, and definitely something, again, I believe they've set this new bar, this new category for an ultra premium look and feel. This is definitely going to be for the tech gadget lover who has the loves the upscale toys. Really cool, guys. Let's get into the sound test here. And that's the $10 million question, is what do they sound like? So I'm going to switch camera angles again. All right, guys, I have the speaker set up behind me. I have one speaker here and one speaker back here. And I've got them probably, I guess I'm a bad judge of distance, but probably 3 feet apart. And I've got them paired so we can hear stereo sound. Now, this is going to be the very first time I've heard these. So we'll play a little music here. I'm going to crank it up a little bit and I will give you guys my live reaction of this. So right now we're at about half, about 50% volume. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this. I'm watching for distortion right now. I'm gonna go all the way up for a minute. I'm going to separate them back a little bit. All right, guys, I'm going to crank this back down. So initial impression, these little roosters have some power behind them. So without turning them all the way off, so there's a nice little bit, there's really great highs out of the gate here. I might try another song in a minute, but nice highs, pretty good mids. There's not a lot of bass out of them, just enough thump. I mean, you're probably not gonna expect these to be bass slamming speakers for the size, but the distortion level, so I've got the speakers turned all the way up. I've got my phone operating the volume separately or independently because I wanna make sure that the speakers are cranked to the max, and so I can adjust it with my phone. A little bit of distortion at the highest levels, but nothing too crazy. I don't think these are going to be party speakers. You're not going to jam these things and bring these to a party, but more when you're sitting around at your office or maybe having a coffee break or whatever, and you just want to jam some tunes a little bit. These aren't going to be party speakers, but man, I was actually shocked. So let's pause this video for just 2 seconds, and we're going to come back and we'll try another track. All right, guys, I found another track. This is another little bit of an instrumental track, so we'll give it a shot and see what this thing sounds like. Hopefully my volume is not too bad for you guys because I'm mic'd up here so I can talk to you guys, but I'm not sure what you're gonna be picking up as far as sound. So this isn't really a sound comparison between other speakers, but it's just to my ear. I'm giving you guys kind of my first impressions of the audio, and I have a lot of Bluetooth speakers, so hopefully I'll be pretty honest with you guys on what I'm hearing. So let's crank this up again here, and we'll start another track. I'm gonna go, woo. It's got some pretty peaky highs. That's not bad. Quite a bit of mids. I'm at about 80% right here. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut off the music to make sure that you guys can hear me here. So, general impressions of the music, the sound quality rather. The sound quality is not bad. I mean, if I was gonna rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, if 10 was the best, there's a lot of bigger, badder Bluetooth speakers on the market. I don't think you're necessarily going to buy these 100% for the sound quality, but the huge factor is the actual premium build quality of the speaker. So again, if you factor everything in, I don't know where these are going to finish as far as the dollar amount goes, as far as the sale price goes, but the premium build of these speakers, how they'll look around your desk, and the super premium speaker in stereo is the game changer. So as I've got this right now with my desk, I can have one speaker over here, and actually what I would do normally, if I wanted to get these in the shot, or at least mostly in the shot here. So what I would probably do is I'd probably separate these actually out a little bit further, and just to give me a little bit more separation. But I think that is the key here, you guys. So I just want to reiterate this. As far as sound quality goes, to my ear anyway, I was actually pretty impressed, but I've heard better. Okay, but they're also bigger speakers. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I would be happy to answer any questions on these speakers. So far, 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Aiwa. I appreciate you guys for sending these to me and letting me be one of the very first reviewers. Again, much appreciated, and looking forward to getting a set for myself one day. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace out. What's up, guys? Sammy Geek back here for a little bit of an outtake video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and watching my first sneak peek. I'm going to do this unedited for you guys right now. I'm not going to cut anything out, so this is just kind of an after a take cut, we'll call it. And I just wanted to chat a little bit more about these speakers. So the more I play around with these things and the more hands-on time I get with them, the more I am thoroughly impressed. The one thing that I didn't discuss in this video, and really I think at some point we're going to have to see what Aiwa says and maybe even run some more tests, is the battery life. Because I know people are going to ask me and say, hey, what was the battery life like with these speakers? And so they came charged, and like I said earlier, I played with them a little bit and but it was really low volume because I wanted to this to be genuine when I actually played the video for the first time and I cranked these things up. So, but yeah, the more, I mean, if the battery life lasts a long time to where I don't have to charge these often and I can have them sitting on my desk and just have that stereo sound always, boy, I think these might be a winner. I mean, so I run right now, it's a, let me look. Okay, so it's a Harman Kardon studio speaker, I think is what it is. I've got lots of Bluetooth speakers, but that is my go-to. So it sits in the corner of my room here, and I just power that thing up. But it doesn't give me stereo sound that these Aiwa speakers do. And these Aiwa speakers, honestly, I like how they look sitting up on my shelf. I know there's a couple of colors. I'd have to look at the colors again, but the red is just sharp as hell. So they just look good sitting there. And they take up a lot less room than my Harman Kardon that's down here. So maybe I could, give myself a little bit extra space on the floor. When I run on the treadmill, I typically will use a little bit more powerful speaker, but I could probably put these in the cup holder and get the stereo sound, which might be crazy too. So I guess we'll have to see, I'll see what happens with Aiwa. I know this is one of the very first sets, so they were gracious enough to send me this, and I'm going to send it back. But, just kind of chatting away about this thing. Again, when I very first opened it, thoroughly impressed, and it's like in this different category that I've never seen before. So all the Bluetooth speakers out there now, they all sound pretty good for the most part. The JBL speakers are what I tend to lean to. So I've got all the different, everything from like the Charge to the boom box. I've got the whole gamut of the JBL speakers, but no one makes I think I've seen some premium speakers like this, but in single. I haven't seen stereo. So I think I was onto something by having stereo speakers in that premium kind of fit and finish. It's funny because when I first opened them up, I was genuinely impressed, but it was throughout the day as I packaged them back up and got ready for this video that I started thinking, oh my God, they've created something new and different. This is totally different, different segment, different category. And I know I keep beating that to death, but that is what is going to be the game changer. So I'm trying to think about what else you guys might ask me about these speakers. I don't know again, I don't know the specs because I don't want to focus on specs for this video, but there's a lot of heft. This thing is heavy. This is great. I mean, you could definitely travel with them if you want to put a couple extra weights in your suitcase, but no, I mean, they're not that bad. You could easily travel with these guys, but it's just the feel of it. I mean, you're gonna, if you actually, I walked into my wife's office when I very first opened these up, and I handed it to her, and was like, hey, hold this thing. Can you believe how heavy this damn thing is? So it's just awesome. I wish you guys could all get a hands on and feel how heavy it is. So again, sound quality, pretty much what I expected. It's about on par. I mean, this is not a big speaker. If I want to hear a big speaker sound, I'm going to listen to my JBL boombox. And in fact, the JBL boomboxes will pair together with 100 other JBL speakers, so I could have JBL speakers all around the room. But again, that's something different. That's a different use. You know, that's a party use. That's not sitting in your office and just hearing a nice, relaxing sound in a compact, super premium Bluetooth speaker. You know, sure, you could have all your other boom boxes in your office, but let's say you have a small office, and you know, I don't have a lot of room here, and I try to leave my desk pretty clean. So putting these on the desk, I think, is just kind of a nice addition, right? So again, that's probably it, guys. There's a few buttons on the bottom. There's a little bit of a rubber coating. It says Aiwa CE on there. It's like an anti-slip coating. The one thing that I noticed on this, that it's not going to be any type of deal breaker by any means, but they're using a micro USB for charging rather than USB-C. I would have loved to see a USB-C on the back of this thing, and I don't know, Aiwa, if you could, if that's something you can easily change, that might be something to consider. Everybody's moving to USB-Cs now, but again, that's not a deal breaker, and especially if the battery lasts a long time. I mean, who cares? I have a lot of gadgets that are still micro USB anyway, so I carry both chargers with me. As far as the buttons on the back, of course, there's a power button, there's a mode button, which probably has to do with the pairing, but again, these were paired out of the box for me because these are a sample to be able to try and send back. And then you've got your track forward and back, and then your plus and minus button for your volume. So you can be able to adjust without having your phone on you. I usually do it with my phone, but it's there if you need it, and it's there on both speakers. So the one thing I guess I didn't talk about is technically you could use these separately too. So you get two speakers. You could have one up in, I don't know, the bathroom and one in the kitchen if you wanted to, if you didn't want the stereo sound. But I think that's where the value comes in, is actually having the stereo sound. And so that separation, the instrument separation, that fullness that you get from stereo sound, you don't get that with a single Bluetooth speaker. You get that kind of tinny single channel sound. But here you can actually separate it to your personal liking. If you like a wide sound stage, you can actually separate these guys out further, and that's going to give you kind of more of a full surround sound effect. I don't know, maybe you listen to orchestra or something, so you want to have that full wide expanded sound stage, so you can do it that way. For me, I don't know, like I said, because it's so close to me here, I was probably at about 3 feet, and I'd say pretty wowed by the sound. So not sure what else to say, guys, but thank you again for watching the second part of my video. Hopefully you guys appreciate this. Again, uncut, and I will be sending these back to Aiwa, and we'll see how things pan out for me to purchase a set in the future. So thanks again, guys. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do right now. Would love to share some more videos with you in the future. Thanks again for watching my video, guys. Peace out. Talk to you soon. Thanks.